Welcome to my channel, guys. Today we are talking about lights and light modifiers. So how to select the best modifier for your studio, for your video production, for your YouTube channel, and whatever you are into. We will talk about space-saving design, space-saving solutions, as well as much bigger solutions like this softbox with honeycomb. That is actually my favorite solution, but it takes some space. So if you're recording in your living room or bedroom or something, we also have some very space-saving solutions like Zhiyun MOLUS X100, one of my favorite lights of all time. It's super small, very powerful, and this is actually what you are looking at right now. This is Zhiyun MOLUS X100 with Zhiyun lantern modifier. That is both very soft and and very space-saving. We also have with us this monster. This is Zhiyun MOLUS G300 with full balance mount. So this thing is huge. I mean, it is very small for what it can do, but the LED light here is pretty huge. So this is something that we will take a look at. So I'll help you to make a decision if you need that kind of super powerful and bigger light, or you are okay with MOLUS X100 with your production, and we will see the differences. So we'll talk about three different scenarios. One scenario is this lantern that you are looking at right now, and we will also throw this kind of stuff on a lantern to show you how to make lantern a little bit more selective, how to improve your separation from the background. Then we will look at most space-saving and very interesting solution is like using this kind of light without modifiers. So we will put it on X100 or G300 and see how does it look like bounced off the ceiling. Very space-saving, as I said, and quite interesting solution for specific type of channels. And then lastly, we will take a look at this guy here. So this is a beautiful octagonal softbox, parabolic softbox, 90D Zhiyun with honeycomb. They really make beautiful equipment, and just for transparency, they have sent me this equipment, but I am using it genuinely. Like this is my favorite type of lights. But in general, if you want to choose other brands, all the things that you will see today are still valid. Now, the only thing I want to mention still is that we will also, with softbox solution, we will also take a look at the difference between X100, so less powerful 100 watts light, and G300 with a way more powerful 300 watts light. And we will see like how does it look in a mixed scenario where you have a little bit of sunlight coming to the studio, or with this guy, just this guy, and parabolic softbox, which is actually one of the most beautiful and desired lights, but it's not for everyone. Okay, let's get straight into that. First solution, it is the one you see right now. This is, as I said, the lantern, and you can see on a B-roll how does it look. And this is MOLUS X100 with lantern, very space-saving but very effective. However, what if you don't like this, feeling light that everything is like evenly lit? There's this solution that I mentioned before, and it's actually included with this modifier from Zhiyun, so it comes original, and you can make some separation, some better separation if you use that. Let me show you right now. So I made it a little ugly because I don't want to use this sticky things, but the main point is that now you can see that just throwing these reflectors on the top can give you way better separation, can give you a little bit more similar effect to parabolic softbox. So if you want to save on space but still have this more cinematic type of look, here the lantern softbox or lantern modifier, light modifier with those reflectors on the top can be a very good solution. Okay, now let's go to a second solution. So we will take a look at the dish and light bounced straight off the ceiling. What you can see right now is MOLUS X100 at 100% of power with just a little dish bounced off the ceiling. So that's a very good solution. If you want something a little softer, you can use this rubber thing that is included in a set. So if you use X100 or X60, the RGB light, then you can use also this thing. Let me show you how does it work in real life. So I'll just put it on the light to show you a difference. And just for transparency, with the lantern we were using 50% of power of MOLUS X100, and now since it's bounced off the ceiling and we want more light, we are using 100% of power of MOLUS X100, and I'll put this on top to show you the difference. So now you can see the difference. It does modify a lot actually, so the light is a little softer, it's a little different. So as you can see, this type of light bounce off the ceiling is great for tech channels. A lot of YouTubers that talk about games, gaming and tech and this kind of stuff, that don't want to play too much with the light, they just want to turn on the light and start recording, they use this kind of solutions, bounce off the ceiling. It is not only very efficient way to light your, you know, like little YouTube studio or filming studio, but it's also very space saving. So you can have this little setup, small tiny setup, and you are actually good to go. Now let's go to next. By the way, talking about this scenario, I would recommend to use G300, a little bit more powerful light with this dish, because that would give you a little more even effect and a little bit more flexibility when it comes to f-stop. So if you record like me at a shallow depth of field, that is an okay solution. But if you want to stop it down a little bit to show something from the background, or you're filming a couple of people in a frame, then G300 comes really handy with its way more powerful 300 watt design. Now let's get to the third scenario, my favorite one, which is of course parabolic softbox with honeycomb on top. And let's see the difference between putting this thing on this small beautiful X100 and this monster of a light that is Zhiyun G300. The third scenario here is parabolic softbox with honeycomb in the front. We are at 100% at Zhiyun MOLUS X100. So as you can see, this compact small life can give you a lot. However, for full transparency, we are at f1.4 and we are at 400 ISO, so it is not that bright. It will give you a lot more if you put it on G300. However, I also have a little bit of ND on the lens because I use it for brighter scenarios. So if you take off the ND, you could go down with ISO and that would be perfectly fine. However, if you want more flexibility, G300 for this kind of scenarios will be much better because it will give you way more flexibility and way more options. And to be honest, like, this is still a very compact light, and if you have this parabolic softbox mounted, in any case, this will take most of the space in that kind of scenario. So if you're using X100 as a small light or G300 as a slightly bigger light, that doesn't matter that much. The only thing is that it would be recommended to use a little more sturdy, a little more heavy duty light stand. Okay, so let's go to the scenario 3B. So let's use finally G300. Okay, the last scenario, take a look. G300, the monster of the light, and I have this power brick right here. Of course, you can hide it from the screen, but I just want to rotate this fantastic button here. This is like, it feels so good. And I'm at 69%, I'm at 200 ISO, and I still have like ND filter on. So this is an incredible light. So if you want no compromises, if you want very soft, beautiful light, G300 with parabolic softbox with honeycomb is the solution to go. Now we are at 71%. Let's go to 100 just to show you how powerful this thing is. This is powerful, so it's a little bit too much. So let's go to maybe something around 77. I like this number, 77. No, maybe even 70. Yeah, to make it more cinematic. So as you can see, this is no compromises. If you have some space, if you don't mind to have this parabolic softbox on your light, and if you don't mind to have a little heavier light, and of course in this case scenario I would recommend a little bit more heavy duty light stand. I'm using way too fragile stand for that scenario, but in any case it works. But I would recommend something heavier. Now I would just want to show you one little touch, and we will use MOLUS X100 as my backlight, and this in my personal opinion is the best scenario ever. However, in this case, you may want to have MOLUS X60 RGB light, because you may want to use something like that, like lights, like colorful lights. Sorry, I'm my tongue is not working very well. Let me just turn on the light. So you have MOLUS X100 turning on. As you can see, this gives you a beautiful backlight. Maybe a little bit too much, but the funny thing is that this thing now is at 17% of power right there. So one MOLUS X100, X600, one MOLUS X100, one MOLUS G300, and you have an amazing studio. What is like amazing to me is that it is just one space, and how different the look can be depending on what you do, depending on your needs, depending on the size of the room, and depending on how elaborate and sophisticated you want to go. You have so many solutions nowadays. But even with this light, with G300, you may be a little bit afraid of this power brick and stuff, but you can put it on the floor, or you can put it on a table out of the frame, because it does have this rubber support here. So nowadays you don't have to have all this crazy V-mount stuff, and you can have a full-blown cinematic studio. Of course, in case of G300, if you want to work outside of your studio, outside of the zone where everything is controlled, this is also a big benefit of having such power, because in larger spaces you can fill the space with the light. Let me know in the comments below which of the MOLUS lights was your favorite, which of the scenarios was your favorite, which one would you consider to have in your studio, and if you have any questions, comment down below, ask, I'll try to respond to every question. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, to like, and all the products that I've shown you today are linked down in the description below. Again, this was not sponsored, however, those are affiliate links, so I will get some commission out of it, but that's something, natural. We all want to make a living, right? See you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.